Welcome to my channel.
Return to that silent place where the world hasn't yet taken hold of your identity. Return to the space within you where the real you lives, the version of you untouched by pain, rejection, or fear. You see, before the world ever told you who you were, before the heartbreak, before the self-doubt, before the betrayal, there was a knowing, a quiet certainty that you were powerful, worthy, and whole. But somewhere along the way, you forgot, not because you are weak, but because you were conditioned to look outside of yourself for proof, for confirmation of your value, your beauty, your purpose. Tonight, I invite you to come back to yourself, not the self the world shaped, but the self that creates the world. You are not broken. You are simply operating under an outdated assumption. An assumption, my friend, is everything. There is no power outside of you. None. No circumstance, no person, no past event holds sway over your life unless you grant it permission through your belief. Every experience you've had, every relationship that has blossomed or faded, every moment of joy or sorrow, it all emerged from a single source, your concept of self. Who you believe yourself to be in the secret chambers of your heart is what the world reflects back to you with unwavering faithfulness, not because life is cruel or random, but because it is obedient. This world is not against you. It is showing you yourself. The law is simple, unchanging, and impartial, as within, so without. If you see yourself as forgotten, others will overlook you. If you believe love abandons you, it must. But if you rise tonight and claim a new state, if you dare to assume that you are loved, desired, chosen, and honored, then life has no choice but to mirror that truth. You see, reality is not a product of effort, but of alignment. It does not respond to your striving. It responds to your being. Look at your relationships. Look honestly. How are you being treated? Are you seen? Are you valued? Do you feel chosen? If not, don't despair. Do not beg, chase, or plead. That is not your path. Your only work is to turn inward and ask, what have I been assuming about myself? If you see yourself as an option, people will treat you as such. But if you assume yourself to be the priority, if you live in the knowing that you are someone worth loving, adoring, and respecting, then life must echo that truth back to you. There is no one to change but self. Do not ask the world to change first. Do not wait for others to treat you better before you believe you're worthy. The world cannot lead your transformation. It can only follow. Everything in your outer world is simply the past. Your old assumptions hardened into form. You are always looking at the echo of who you used to believe yourself to be. So stop reacting to the echo. Create a new sound. Neville Goddard spoke of revision, not just as a technique, but as a spiritual act of reclaiming power. Whatever your past has been, you can revise it, not by denying it happened, but by assuming a new meaning. See yourself not as the rejected, but as the one who was redirected, not as abandoned, but as refined. This is not wishful thinking. This is conscious creation. Your mind is the workshop. Your assumption is the mold. And life is the clay. It is not a fleeting thought that changes things. It is sustained belief. You must persist, even when the outer world is still playing the old scene. You must live from the end, from the place where your desire is already fulfilled. You must feel now what you want to feel then. If you want love, assume yourself to be deeply loved. Walk as one who is adored. Speak to yourself like someone who knows their value. And do it, not to force others to act, but to align yourself with the only truth that matters, your inner knowing. Others do not treat you based on their character. They treat you based on your assumption. Yes, people have free will, but their interactions with you are filtered through your own state of consciousness. If you assume someone does not care about you, you will unconsciously radiate that belief, and they will respond accordingly, often without even knowing why. But if you assume they see your worth, if you carry yourself with the confidence that you are cherished, they must reflect that back or exit your life entirely, making room for someone who can. There is no distance between you and what you seek, no separation between you and love, success, healing, or joy. The only gap that exists is the one created by doubt. Your desire is already yours the moment you assume it. You are not waiting for life to give you anything. Life is waiting for you to claim it. You were never meant to strive endlessly, to try to earn love, to fight for validation. You were meant to assume your power and allow reality to align. If your past has been filled with pain, rejection, and longing, let this be the moment where the story shifts. You do not need permission to rewrite your life. Your next chapter begins not when someone else sees your worth, but when you do. Tonight, assume the highest. Live as though your desire is already fulfilled. Speak, walk, breathe as the version of you who has already received it. You are not becoming. You are remembering. The moment you claim it, it is done. Not by force, not by waiting, but by assumption. And assumption, when persisted in, becomes fact. The world is not your obstacle. It is your mirror, and it is waiting to reflect the masterpiece you dare to believe yourself to be. You see, the secret isn't in hoping. It's not in waiting, and it's certainly not in wishing harder. The secret is embodiment. You must become what you seek, not eventually, but now. Not when the world changes, but while it still looks the same. You must wear the energy of your fulfilled desire like a second skin, like breath, effortless, natural, inevitable. When you walk into a room, feel the presence of your new self leading the way. When you speak, speak from the place of one who is already living the life they once longed for. Do not perform this state, become it. Because when you embody a state, the universe has no choice but to reflect it. This is not philosophy, it is law. Do not make a god of evidence. The moment you rely on the 3D world to tell you who you are, you have lost your power. The evidence is late. It is delayed data, an echo of your old self. Stop asking life to prove something to you before you allow yourself to believe it. That is backward. Faith is not blind. Faith is creative. It speaks with authority before the world responds. It says, I am, even when nothing yet confirms it. And by that statement, by that unwavering inner knowing, the world must conform. Do not worship the facts. Create new ones. If love has felt like a struggle, if you've spent your life trying to earn it, beg for it, chase it, let this be the night you lay down that burden. True love, the love that lasts, the love that fulfills, does not require suffering. It requires alignment. You don't need to change yourself to be worthy of love. You need to remember who you are. You need to stop pleading and start assuming. Assume that you are already loved, deeply, fiercely, forever. That assumption, when it becomes your dwelling place, will pull to you every person, every circumstance, every miracle required to fulfill it. You do not need to chase love. You need to become the place where love lives. Let's talk about the inner conversation, the silent dialogue running in the background of your consciousness. Neville said it clearly. Inner conversations mirror your reality. If you continue to argue with people in your mind, they'll argue with you in the physical. If you expect rejection internally, it must show up externally. But what if, starting tonight, you rewrite that conversation? What if, when your mind begins to wander toward fear, you gently redirect it? What if you began to hear, "They adore me. They cherish me. They are grateful to know me. I am always chosen." And not just hear it, believe it. Not just say it, feel it. In the silence of your mind, plant seeds of harmony, affection, belonging, and persist. Soon the people in your world will start speaking the very lines you wrote for them. Yes, the old story will try to resurface. The old identity may knock on your door. You might see flashes of the former, reality trying to convince you nothing has changed. But this is not the moment to panic. This is the moment to stand still. Why? Because what you persist in will outlast what was. If you stand firm in your new assumption, the illusion of the past must dissolve. Do not be deceived by what appears. Keep your focus on what is assumed. What is assumed, when believed, becomes fact. Walk by inner vision, not outer sight. You were never meant to manipulate outcomes. You were never meant to chase someone down and convince them to see your worth. If someone cannot see the light of who you are, do not dim it to make them comfortable. Your job is not to change people. Your job is to become so aligned with your own worth, your own love, your own truth, that only those who match it remain. Let the wrong ones fall away with grace, and let the right ones arrive without struggle. You are not here to convince. You are here to embody. You may doubt yourself. You may waver. You may fall back into old habits. But the law does not fail. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter how long you've struggled. What matters is the assumption you now choose to live from. If you dare to persist, if you dare to believe in the unseen, long enough, it must become visible. Assumption is not magic. It is structure. It is divine design. Whatever you become in consciousness must become real in form. So I ask you now, not to wish for a better life, but to choose one. Choose the version of you who is loved. Choose the version who is respected. Choose the version who no longer accepts crumbs when they were made for royalty. See it, feel it, walk in it. Let every moment affirm the new you. And when the world begins to shift, and it will, you'll understand this truth deeply. You never needed to chase anything. You only needed to assume it was already yours.